Episode 4 of Obliterated begins with a brief look at McKnight's history. He sits with his mom watching Rambo, and she questions him about finding something more substantial than casual flings with girls. She's also worried about him leaving on this mission, but he promises to come back in one piece. In the present, the chopper has crashed. The Vulture radio is dead, and Angela happens to have the bride, Sarah's, phone rather than her own. As for Paul, he's still tripping. The only way to go now is on foot, so they need to find the Russian compound. Ava decides to leave Paul behind to wander back to Vegas on his own. Haggerty is taken in an inflatable raft on foot with the rest of the team. However, Lana and Trunk are back at the helicopter and end up captured by the Russians. When they are, we cut back to Ava and the others who find themselves stuck by a seemingly impassable mountain out in the desert. Meanwhile, Litvin is forced to let his superiors into the compound. The Russians are forced into the walk-in fridge, while both Trunk and Lana are stuck in the sauna. Trunk wakes up and the pair discuss his sexuality and McKnight's reaction to it. According to McKnight, he's cool with it, in a separate chat with Angela, but Trump believes that his best friend sees things through a narrow scope and he's trying a bit too hard to be fine with it. Paul shows up at Caesar's palace after catching a ride back. He immediately finds the guy dating Jen and demands he be taken to their room. However, he's stopped in his tracks by a gun pointing to his kidney by some very moody Russians. He's tied up in a room and beaten for information over Litvin. When they threaten to go after Jen, Paul dispatches the guards in the room and races out to stop the leader. Back in the desert, Angela and Lerner work together to try and move Haggerty. Both of them doubt their own abilities and begin to question what they're doing. That is, until Lerner slips into an old mining shaft. Unfortunately, it's swarming with scorpions. Lerner does manage to get out, but it's